Hey all, welcome back to the 5 Minutes or So Daily Marketing Podcast. I'm Jacob Smith, Digital Marketing Specialist at Fresh Fuel Marketing. Today we're here with Phil Adams, a Disney-obsessed, Red Bull sipping, Orlando-based designer and photographer. Thanks so much for being on our show, Phil.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate you thinking of me. I'm excited to talk. I'm down here in Orlando, surviving the coronavirus, mostly doing freelance and trying to see what opportunities exist around the Orlando agency world.
It'll be nice to get a design perspective from you today, because today we have questions for you focusing on how clients can work more effectively with graphic designers. For each question, you'll have about 60 seconds to answer. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get started. So if you're not an artist, it's easy to miss all the behind-the-scenes work and effort that goes into creating a design. Let's say, for example, I'm asking for a full rebrand. And I'm asking for logo variations, brand fonts, brand style guide, all that good stuff. Can you walk me through your creative process for rebranding?
Yeah, definitely. So the one thing I try to focus on when I'm asked to develop a brand identity is really the story of what this company is about, what a company is trying to convey, what are their core attributes, which are all things that hopefully as a brand they are considering as they're building their company. But to me, building a rebrand is really about storytelling. And so what do you want to put out there into the world? How do you want to be known? And then that information will affect every design decision down the line. So, maybe your imagery is driven by more of those ideas where, some people will come in and they'll be like, oh, well, we're a taco restaurant and we really think that our logo should be a taco. And it's like, okay, yeah, we could do that. Or we could push maybe a little bit more towards something that fits your story a little bit better and the attributes that you're going to try to convey as a company.
Question number 2, what information and assets do you need from your clients to help you do your best work?
I think this is going to vary from person to person, obviously, and designer to designer, and it's going to depend on the project type, whether it's, a full rebrand like this, or if you're creating new assets or new projects within a certain existing brand. But I think that that's a great question to ask whatever designer you're working with. Just, start straight off the bat and say, hey, what can we give you to make sure that we're getting the best product? For me personally, mood boards, work that you like that already exists, and knowing those brand attributes, those are going to help a ton with making my work happen as quickly as possible and as direct as possible to get to the final product that you're going to want.
Yeah, and it's also important collaboration with clients, right?
Absolutely, definitely. You want to be able to create a product that both the designer is proud of and the client is happy paying for and proud to put their name in.
Question number 3. What other pieces of advice do you have for working with graphic designers and other creative professionals?
I would say that one of the biggest parts about working with creatives and the easiest kind of connecting point between people who work creatively and maybe the people who are paying for these jobs is if you can get down to the why you want something, of what is the purpose this is serving, or why are we making these decisions. That's going to help those decisions be more intentional. It's going to help narrow the vision of whatever project you're working on, and it's going to make both parties happier, I think, in that sense. In that same vein, as a company, try not to be too picky about like, hey, could we get more spacing between these letters, or hey, could we make this 20% bigger? Like, I promise that designer has already tried that and is putting the best work in front of you by the time you get to those things. And then the last kind of thing for working with creatives, you pay for the work that you get. Like the cheaper options may seem great, but I recently just worked with a client who went online and found somebody to do a brand for his company really cheap. And then he came to me and said, we're really not happy with this. We really want to move forward with something that's a little bit more, professional looking. And then they had to pay twice for the work. So, be willing to spend that money. It's it's something that, sounds a little self-serving, obviously, when I say that. But, if you really believe in your brand and the quality of your work, then you want to put that money into your visual identity just as much as you're putting it into the rest of the company.
At the end of every show, we like to give our guests a shameless plug where you can share your website, something you're working on, your Instagram, etc. What's your plug?
Yeah, my Instagram is at Phil G. Adams, and then my website is philgadams.com. Both of those are good places to see my work and good ways to get in contact with me. I'm on Instagram every day, so I'll see messages if they come through. And my website has, contact me links and ways to get resumes if you want one. So I'd love to hear from you guys.
Perfect. We'll link both of those in the show notes for our viewers and listeners to find. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. This has been a blast.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for sticking with us and tuning in. Real quick, if you like today's episode, we'd love it if you sub to the podcast or subscribe wherever you're listening or watching it. And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. To get in touch and find more content, you can visit our website in the show notes. Have a great day, and as always, good luck and good marketing.